Right, so David Gray. We kind of knew it was going to happen. I mean, David Gray getting the manager's job. My reaction to David Gray getting the job, at first I was speechless. Took a while to actually sink in. I was actually wanting David Gray to get the job, to be honest, personally, because he's had a good caretaker over the years, taken over for previous managers, and he's not had a bad caretaker position. He's been good. He's done the job well. He's picked a team that went up and won a game and took us to places where we wouldn't actually win a game. We actually won a game, etc., etc. Like Pittodrie, and his only defeats as caretaker manager was away to Aston Villa and Birmingham and Dundee and Celtic away. It's not too bad. I mean, 3 defeats, come on. I mean, he's not really been a bad appointment. He's had a lot of good wins under his belt, 3 draws, but he knows the risks, he knows what needs changed at Hibernian SC, and he's brought in 3 really good signings so far. Warren O'Hara, Marv, the other centre-back from Blackpool, and the goalkeeper, who I can't pronounce his name properly, but we'll figure that out eventually. So that's the list of the players that, by the looks of it, are ones that are wanting to be moved on from the wage bill, like basically get moved on, sell on. Now, McCurdy, I wouldn't get rid of. I disagree with McCurdy being on that. Technically, instead of McCurdy being on that, it should be Jake Doyle-Hayes, because I think McCurdy should take the second chance and go for it. Noah Kenna, he's a player that's hard to really rate because I've not really seen him get a chance at Hibs ever since he signed from Leeds United. So Jojo Willicott is alright, but at the same time, if that's players that are on that list that have to get moved on, they have to get moved on. But 2 are already gone. Dan Mackay's gone permanently. Ewan Henderson has just departed Hibs today. So, and I know that Jake Doyle-Hayes hasn't travelled to, I don't know if he's at the training camp in Netherlands, I don't know. You've got to look at that and say, right, if there's players that are not involved in the summer training camp, then does that mean that they're leaving? Because that's a big list there. So if those are the players that are going, I would probably keep Harry McCurdy for a second chance. Noah Kenna, 50-50, I would probably keep. But the rest, just let them go. Not in a nasty way to them, but let them go. If that's who they want to get rid of as a club, then that's fine, because we're still in the middle of trying to trim down the Hibs squad. It is far too huge. There's too many players in it. We need to try and slim it down a bit because there's just far too much. And we can't bring any players in until we kind of cut that squad down. Now, there's been 3 signings so far, and I don't see it just being that many signings in one summer window. That would be very poor. But I think we might manage to go and get more signings, but I don't know. I don't know who else will be leaving. Are we going to hear more departures during the week before we bring in the 2 players that are allegedly on the radar, which I do think is in truth now. It's looking a possibility that Simon Murray and Greg Docherty are still getting looked at. I'm not sure, but I'm not going to jinx that. But if Greg Docherty and Simon Murray are on the transfer radar, according to Matty Longbangers, because that's what was in the title. Huge shout outs to Longbangers podcast, the best podcast, and also the Hibs Observer, another good podcast as well. Huge shout out. That's the thing with David Gray that you've got to realise, right? He's our manager. He's started pre-season well. You can kind of see what he's looking to bring to the team. We started pre-season much more better than last season. We are working more stronger as a team now. Really good training sessions. According to what players are saying, they're working very hard. They're working very hard under David Gray, and they have respect for David Gray. I think that's technically behind the reason why David Gray got the job, because he got full backing from the dressing room. And the players have respect for him because they've all played under David Gray when David Gray played for us as a Hibs player. Huge shout outs to the Hibs Observer, by the way, for this post that I seen on Facebook the night, about Hibs interested in signing ex-Kilmarnock defender. So it looks like we're still building for the back. I don't know much about this defender. I know that he's at Ipswich at the moment. So Hibs join race to sign him because I think other teams are for him as well. I think there'll be a few more exits for the club. I don't know. I've not really heard much more. And tomorrow Hibs are going to announce the away kit. And huge shout outs to Bella. Here's the photo right here. The away kit is on the verge of being announced tomorrow. Don't know what time exactly, but I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to see what happens. I'm looking forward to, I'd say, the first ever Hibs game I'll probably attend will be, I'm not sure exactly, but it might be Hibernian v Queen's Park. I don't know exactly. Like this season's pre-season, there's a lot more work going into what's happening. So I think David Gray's got the team working well, and the players are actually tired after working their hearts out of the training schedule. So you can see what the team's doing. You can see what David Gray's doing. He's getting the best out of the players that he's also got that are still part of the team. And Martin Boyle has announced that his heart is with Hibs and he will be staying with Hibs and he is going nowhere. So that's another good sign. Hopefully he can bring the best out of himself as well for the upcoming season as well. We've brought in 3 new good signings that are actually looking really good, and I think they'll progress better as David Gray gets a better out of them. I want to see more for Harry McCurdy as well. I think David Gray will get the better out of him as well. But there is going to be players that are probably going to be getting let go as Malky Mackay continues to trim the squad, because there's a lot of good players in there that probably won't get the chance, and it'll be just about right, it's time for you to move on. That's it. I'd probably be looking at getting rid of players like Jake Doyle-Hayes, Jojo Willicott, because he was on the list of players that are to be getting moved on. So I kind of disagree that Harry McCurdy's on there, because he deserves that second chance. And I think the other players that are on that list, probably just move them on. 2 of them have already went. We've said, and obviously another departure back at before the window even opened, Dylan Tate, he's signed a permanent contract with Falkirk. So there's been a huge clear out so far. There has been a lot of names of players that have departed permanently, some that have went out on loan, the same names that have went out on loan again, but I'm sure a lot will happen as it progresses. And David Gray I trust, because there's going to be a lot to the new season. And I think if he gets in the players that he needs and he's doing a good job because he's building Hibs for the back. That's where you want to start. You want to start building for the back because the defence was the main issue. But the midfield, we need somebody more stronger than Joe Newell, because, nothing against Joe Newell, but we need somebody stronger. I was hearing that on Long Bangers phone it in the day. Matty says we need somebody a bit more stronger and more focused in midfield than Joe Newell, because there's times where Joe Newell's in a world of his own sometimes and isn't fully focused and gets caught out a few times. That can be understandable with players. You look at that and you say, right, well, who would be the ideal, better opportunity? There's a lot of people saying that there was a lot of people putting a list on players that should go, and Joe Newell was in a lot of the lists. And I can understand people are allowed their own opinions. That's allowed. But yeah, there's probably still going to be a lot of trimming in the squad, trimming the squad down to a more smaller squad, because basically our squad is basically, well, too huge. And it's a huge squad we have, and players that are in that aren't going to get the chance. I had 18 players out on loan last season. That's terrible. I mean, we're not Chelsea. We're not Liverpool. We're not that. So, like, come on, we need to kind of trim it down a bit and just make it a bit more low of a squad and a bit more of a smaller squad, not too big, not too huge, as people would say. But I think that'll probably happen before the summer window shuts. We'll see more exits, and we will eventually, and more patiently, see more players coming in. Probably another, I don't know, probably not too many. I'd say like another, we've made 3, so you're talking about maybe possibly in total, maybe 6, 7 or 8 maybe. Probably see another 45 or 6 players being shown the door permanently. Whoever they may be, I don't know, but we'll soon find out. But I wish David Gray luck. David Gray is our manager, and we've talked about David Gray, and we've just got to see where it goes. And I wish him luck, and who knows, it's a good season ahead. Okay guys, I'm going to leave that video there. Make sure to like, subscribe, enable notifications, because every time you hit that notification button, it notifies you every time I upload a YouTube video on the JackC99 YouTube channel. And tomorrow's video, there will be a video tomorrow, because I will be heading to the Hibs store once again. But make sure to like and subscribe, guys. That has been your host, Jack C, once again, guys. It's good to be back. Make sure to like and subscribe. And as we edge closer to the new season, here we go. Matchday vlogs will return. And apart from that, guys, I will see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye, guys.